Hi, I'm here today to talk to you about understanding the music that you're making and to be able to see the forest through the trees, so to speak. And I've kind of done a little bit of music and a little bit of film, and I'll tell you this, that making music allows you to see the forest from the trees a lot more efficiently, a lot more clearly than film does. With film, it's very hard to see the forest from the trees, and what that means is being able to understand what your piece of art is from your own perspective or from an outsider's perspective, being able to actually figure it out as you're making it. Because you need to come up with something that, as an end product, looks like everything was there for a reason. But you and I both know that a lot of the decisions that go into what you make are purely out of not necessarily convenience or laziness, just that was the best option. It was the option that caused the least issues with other options and makes everything flow the best. So to see the forest through the trees is a very good skill that you're going to be developing with time. And it comes with understanding what you're making and to keep clear the vision in your head of the end product from the very beginning to the very end. And it doesn't mean you can't, differentiate from your vision and to go in a new direction of something if a new direction makes itself apparent. But also remember that it can also take you down a lot of very long, very meandering paths that can often end you up back where you started. So let's, for instance, say I have a basic little idea and I want to make it into something. So, right there, basic 4-chord thing, 4-bar, I can repeat that as much as I want, and I find it gives a nice uprising kind of thing to it. And that's something that you're going to have to take just at my word, as it's not something that can really be explained much more than that. A sound isn't really something that was designed to be explained through words, which is rather funny because words are sound most of the time. But the problem is going to come when I'm taking this and I'm trying to figure out what it is that I want to do with this sound. Now, first thing that comes to my mind is to maybe put a dun 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 dun, almost like a march or a pace like that. So. Do you see what's happened there? Is that as you kind of keep going, you can notice that a couple new ideas are starting to blend together, but they're also starting to fight each other a little bit. Whilst at the surface, it seems kind of like it's working, it kind of isn't when you have to actually take all these different parts together, all the different elements of the song, and to be able to cobble them together into an actual complete end product. You're going to have a lot of elements in your music. You're going to have, say, you're making just a rather bog standard, rock pop sort of song. You want just vocals, you want a bit of keyboard, maybe a bit of a synth, a bit of a guitar going bow, 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 wow, wow, wow. And you want a bass going boom, 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 boom. You're going to want to let one of those ideas go. You're going to want to let a couple of those ideas go in order to boost the ideas that you have the most, what's the word? Stake in. You're going to want to remove some ideas so that other ideas can become the best that they can be. And that's not to say that you're forgetting about them, they're going to be gone forever. You're just putting them on the shelf for a bit and you're going to come back to them later and you see what else can come about of it. Maybe this bass line that you thought of but doesn't really work for the song, you could put it away and it can maybe become the main element of another song that could have other elements built around it. Because all the different parts of your song are pretty much the same part, even down to the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, you're going to have in that kind of couplet sort of thing. Or if you've got something like bim, 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 you'll have a drum bum, 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 bum. You wouldn't be having, you know, your standard boom, dum, 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 something like that. That was literally the most bog standard rock drum sound I could think of. You're not going to have that if you're working with a different sound from that. You got to orchestrate everything, I suppose. Orchestrate it. Yeah, I think that's a very good word. I suppose that's why orchestras exist, because they're just out there doing this. So, yeah. I'm getting a little bit annoyed at trains at the moment. But that's not why we're here today. Today, we're here to talk about music. The theory of the theory, so to speak. So, today we're going to talk about one of the most important parts of making music, and that is putting your instruments together, how to make them work really nice together. So at the moment I've only got this acoustic guitar, but that doesn't mean that we can't put a couple different instruments together. So that's a bit of a guitar string, and then right there you'll see that I've used two different ideas and I've gotten two completely different sounds. The nature of the sound, the dun, dun, that's not unique to the guitar or unique to finger picking like that. Something like that you could easily get out of a piano, playing it through one thing. You could get it on a bass guitar, you could get it on a harp, you could get it on a flute if you wanted to, do it like that. All that's going to change is the nature of the sound, the specifics, whereas the key is going to stay the same, and the key is very important, and it's something that I really underestimated when I first started getting into music. The thing is with the key is that you think you can ignore it a little bit and you can just put stuff together because both of them sound good. And that's not really how it works. All of it is one continuous flowing thing. So if I have, for instance, a basic little, let's call this a bass line. Now you think, okay, I want to put something nice over that, like a little bit of a guitar riff. So I could just start going, you know, like, and the problem that's going to come in is when, for instance, I'm now going to edit those two little things together. Let's see just how well it works. Not very well at all. And those ideas in your head, they sounded like they could go okay together. And the problem is that there's too much difference between what's going on. I would say there are three main elements to music. You've got your texture, and that's just a very simple little thing that kind of keeps everything going. It's the theme, it's the idea behind what's going on, the specifics. And the specifics are the melody and the rhythm. Now, they kind of work very similarly. A rhythm would be that is a very clear rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, it's something that you can count up like that. But just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 doesn't really give an idea of the melody behind that. See, as I'm playing it, as I start playing it faster in what are called eighth notes, it would seem almost like the music is getting slightly higher, even though the key is remaining completely the same. I'm just doing a bit of a modified basic C chord with a bit of a G in there. Now, a proper change in melody would be something like, right there, you've gone from one thing to the next thing. Now there's a circle of harmony that goes into that, and there's a lot of theory into that that even goes right beyond my head, and it's not really in the place of a total amateur to really get right into the music theory. If you get too involved in music theory will eat you alive. Hi, and this is the most pointless video you're ever gonna watch. It's the top 5 chords, guitar chords specifically. Now I'm not talking about your weird stuff like your C cadence 9s, Where am I going to stick a C cadence in that? Huh? You tell me. So, here is my top 5 normal sounding chords. These can be anything that I like. Anything that I think is a good chord. So, we're going to start off. I think number 5, I'm going to go with D minor. Very nice sounding, isn't it? I've used this a lot in transitional pieces. It has that evanescent flow to it. It feels like it's something that could go up, up. And shout out to the sus2 and sus4. sus2, sus4. Because you can mix those. If you just have a D minor, sus2, sus4, D minor, sus2, sus4, sus. My next chord, I'm going to go with something a bit happier. I'm going to go with E. Just straight E, the most bog standard thing. The reason that I'm going with that is because in a harder song, in something that's got a bit more of a fast, pouncing pace to it, you can feel it. I don't like using it in slow shit, like la 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 lo na si la ba la just talking gibberish and doing an E chord. I'm actually quite happy with it. I changed my mind. It's going up to number 3. So the new number 4. The new number 4. That is a chord right before you end something. Hell, if you just end it like that, you'll be left in suspense. You could leave someone with silence after that for a minute and they'd still be listening because they're waiting for this. Yeah? B major 7 going into E minor is such a common thing. It's been used all over the shop. Specifically, the best example I can give you is here. I played it at the Cross Lancers. It's David Gilmour's Do You Want to Marry Me? Anyway, that's why I think she's the one for me. I did a bit of a weird cover of it. I changed the lyrics and stuff. But he uses B major 7 to E. And that, he does it a bit faster than that. He's like... So it's good, isn't it? So now we've done number 3. I told you what number 3 was. It was brilliant. Now, number 2. I'm gonna have to say it. Is it A minor? You tell me. Does that sound like a yes or a no? See, it's a yes because you thought it sounded like a no. And you thought it sounded like a no because I told you thought it sounded like a no. Now on its own you can't really place it with anything, but as a basis to your song, A minor is perfect. A minor can take you anywhere. Do you want to go a bit more upbeat? Let's go back to number 3. Yeah. such as the Mariner's Revenge song. It's also got those sus2 and sus4s, and they sound just as good as they do on D minor. The only reason that this one's higher, I think, is because A minor does a better job of being a basis to a song than D minor does. You can't really go... Oh, maybe you can. Fuck it, D minor is now the new number 2, A minor's shit. And the ultimate chord, my favourite chord ever, something so basic, you, as someone who's never touched a guitar in their life, could do right now, and you'd love it, and you'd be doing it for hours. E minor. There's a train. Can it shut up? I'm trying to be melancholic. E minor has a world of its own. It's one of the most... This mic's just died, so sorry about the audio quality going a bit down, but I don't care, because E minor sounds so good. It sounds like it's in its own world. That's how good it sounds. The thing with E minor is it takes you so far away from where other chords sit. They sit much higher up in the pitch spectrum. To me, it's almost like being trapped underneath the ocean. Underneath the ocean, not even in the ocean. You're so far below. You're so entrapped by the things around you. It's a very sad chord, basically. So, now we've got all our chords. All my favourite chords. D minor, great chord. At number 4, I think it was A minor, because I pushed it away. And then number 3, E major. And then number 2, what was number 2? Number 2, I think, should be just B major 7, because it fits as number 2, because then you go to number 1. So now we've totally rearranged the order. Let's see how it sounds. This is my top 5 favourite guitar chords as a song. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed how utterly pointless it was. But I hope you learned some new chords, some good chords. They're fantastic chords, and you should start using them more. I think they should be used a lot more. Now, the major key and the minor key are two very common terms that you'll hear a lot in Western music. And usually what they mean is, by major, oh, it's a happy song. La-di-da-di-da, 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 la. However, that's not always the case. Major key can also have a, should we say, melancholic semblance? Yeah, I think that's a good word. I like that word, yes. For instance, here is a very obvious example of a song in the major key, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. So, as you can hear, very nice, very whoosh. That whoosh gives it a very melancholic feel, but it's the fingering around it which adds to that, which increases the melancholic sense. The whole song is about, you know, let's ignore the fact that it's about Syd Barrett. Let's just say it's about missing someone, wishing they were here, so to speak. This gives a very nice like a build up. It's like you're reliving happier times. So that's major key. The major key gives you a lot of purposes. The minor key, people often associate with sadness. Very sad. Very sad. Not quite as sad. That's giving it a closure, finale. So you need to use major and minor. You need to use major and minor throughout the song in order to let one another balance out. I mean, for instance, let's go with a song. Let's start. Here's a song that I do. It's called You Could Have Played Bass. I like to have a bit of a strum with it. But let's hear it just with major chords. It's a song with all major chords. So listen. You notice how it's got a very repetitive kind of continuousness to it. Now if you wanted to spice it up a little bit, you could chuck in a minor chord here. So let's start, instead of doing an A major, let's start it off with an A minor. Let's see how it changes. So you see, it's now suddenly got a lot more variety. It feels more complete to say. It feels much more like something you'd hear in a studio. It feels very real. So there you have the major and the minor key. The major key, they say, is often used just for this flare of happiness and innocence. But I beg to differ. I think that it gives melancholy. I think that some of the best songs for listening on a rainy Wednesday evening when it's really kind of miserable, you're in a bad mood, but you want to feel happy, you know. I stick on something usually in the major key, you know, not by choice because I'm not a nerd. Here's another example. It's Heart of Gold by Neil Young. And you can see it's using some minor chords in there to give a bit of a semblance, and mixing them is what gives you that goodness. The reason that I didn't use a G minor is totally not because I don't know how to play G minor. It's because mixing the two is what gives you the ultimate result. If you play something with only the minor key, it's not going to sound right. It'll sound empty. It'll sound like it needs filling. That refrain into the major key, even if it's just for a beat or a quick bar, is what you need in order to give the song the uplift so that you can bring it down and then bring it back up and bring it down. And having that balance is what will make you a good song. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Subscribe and all that shit. What are you doing? You fucking... Why? What? Stop. Hurry up. Hurry up. Just do it. What are you doing? Come on. That's right there. It's right there. Come on. Look, I know you don't want to. I don't want you to either. I don't want you watching me. Go away. Back off. Back off. Leave me alone. Back off. Hello, and welcome back to Morrison Productions. Here, on a little bit of a tangent before we get into things, I have realised why Scandinavian artists are so good, and why they were able to come up with such complicated technical death metal and extreme metal and all these crazy super fast things. It's because they live in cold places, right? They live in cold places and their hands don't get that cold. That's why they're able to play really hard stuff. I was just recording one now and I was trying to talk about some stuff that you can do on the guitar, and honestly it's what, about 3 degrees Celsius? I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, like probably 55 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. And I could barely play. My fingers, look at them. Look at that. It's annoying, right? And it's part of overthinking. Because if I can't play the guitar, I will just play the keyboard, and I'll have a cup of coffee while I'm doing it. Oh, that's hot. Alright, and so how does this work? Well, I don't need a bass anymore because... Or... See, I have lots of different... That's just two. I've got that one, that one. So I have a lot of different options. That's just with the bass. So now I can throw my bass away because I have this. If I want a choir, solved. If I want another kind of choir, solved. Solved. It's a trumpet. My favourite one is the tuba. I've used this one quite a lot. Now a tuba would probably cost you thousands of pounds to buy, or you can spend 200 quid and you can do this. Now if we just go into music DAW, you go on there, take that, add a chorus to that. Sounds about right, I'd say. Sounds big. Doesn't sound like that, or like that. Sounds a bit rubbish. But when you add a chorus, like that's the thing with this. It gives you so many different kinds of instruments that you can just use them again and again and again and again. So, tell you what, you don't really need to buy any piece of equipment. You just get this, you stick, especially some reverb, sticking some good reverb on things will really help your case. And it will really help make these things sound better. This thing also comes with drums. The drums are happening, and we got something to teach. We got the drums and not a kit. It didn't cost us 800 quid. We got a drum kit on our keyboard and it sounds like the real thing. If we add a reverb and do something, it'll just sound like its thing. Sounded pretty convincing, right? You know, if I just pretended, you know, if I just stick some footage of me playing the drums over that, you're convinced. Don't you lie, I know you're convinced. That's the thing with audiences, that if you do a good enough job of convincing them of something, they will be convinced. So I don't think you really need huge pieces of equipment. You can just do what you've got. You know, this is what I've got, so I make use of it. And I've managed to make about 5, turn it off. 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 Thank you. So you see, what you can do is just make the most of the equipment that you've got. When you make the most of the equipment you've got, you come out with things like that. I've made so many albums with just this, with a little bit of guitar, a little bit of this in the background, but it's just what I've got access to. You don't need big bits of equipment to get yourself started, because at the end of the day, your first 100, 150, 200 songs are going to be not that good. So it's not really worth it spending time and money on putting them to life when you could wait and put out your 300th song and that one's going to be way better. Because as you progress, you're going to learn more and more and more about, you know, musical theory, and you're going to learn about rhythms, and you're going to learn about melody, and you're going to learn about the general style that you want to go for as well, and you're going to understand where you want to take your music as well, which will really help you define your songs and make them truly yours, instead of an inspiration, a clear inspiration of something else, which is definitely what you'll be doing when you're just starting out. It's what I do when I'm just starting out, and I'm on about song 150 at the moment, and I'm still improving, I'm still getting there. And that's why I'm doing this series. I kind of want to bring you guys along with me for the ride, and once I've gotten to somewhere, I want to be able to look back and say, oh, that's what I was thinking, that's how I saw musical theory. These aren't like an encyclopedia. Don't take these videos as gospel, because I don't know musical theory. I don't know how to make a song. I don't know. I just try. I need to warm my hands up though, if I'm gonna try. Jesus, they're freezing. I feel like the ceramic's gonna burst in my hand doing this. Proper grasping it. Just trying to get a bit of heat. Why did I drink it? Oh yeah, that's the bit. That's the bit. It's just the knuckles. This is what I'm saying. Scandinavians can play guitar way better. Dogs. Dogs don't overthink music. People do. Dogs don't kill people. Music does. You don't want to be sat around putting lots and lots of time into one song when you could spend just as much time putting that effort into a whole album. For instance, you can go through and you can make a song in about 5-6 hours, just from writing to a basic bit of recording. It doesn't need to sound great, and then you go into the mixing and the mastering and you just do what you can with it. This is your time whilst you're developing your skills to experiment. This is your experimental phase. And once you figure out what it is that you want to do, you can really hone that skill and you can make it your own. You don't actually need that much going on in a song to make it a complete song. As you're starting out, you're hearing songs that sound complicated in your head, but it's because you don't quite know music theory yet, and you don't realise that a lot of those elements are just made up following the key. So, for instance, let's have a basic song that just goes, for instance, C, A minor, E minor, D. So C, A minor, E minor, D. So what you're going to do, you're going to start there, so like that. There you go, I've just come up with the rhythm just from following along. You see? Or, if I want to do it differently, there's another E here. So, there's also another D here. But it sounds actually exactly the same, so I'm not going to use it. There's another D, let's see. A sharp, B, C, C sharp. It's all the same D, isn't it? So, I think that sounds a little bit better than... But if you also want, then you can start going higher and higher up the scale. So, for instance... See, I've just come up with so many new ideas just from following along with that original. See? It was that very simple, not even using any particular complicated chords, no C major 9, 5, 800s, no D augmented 9s or anything like that, nothing mental. Literally a C, an A minor, an E minor, and a D. And maybe a D sus2, but we didn't talk about that. I fooled you! Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! Ho ho! You don't want to have too many ideas going on at the same time because it will sound awful. And really, I've had plenty and plenty of songs that I've been able to split into 2 or even 3 songs because I was sticking too many ideas into them. For instance, I had a song that I released last month that went like this. And there was a bit that was cut out from that, and it was at the end of the song where I would start going like... Oh, it's really hard. It's so cold. Especially doing this kind of playing. Ugh. My thumb feels like it's actually about to fall off. I don't like this. Give me my thumb back, please. Ah. Oh. Ow. Look at that. It doesn't move like that, and I feel like it kind of needs to do that bit of the motion, that bit where it bends, but it's stuck. It's like I've got arthritis at the age of 21. So, as you see, what I decided to do was I took that part at the end of the song, I cut it out, I remixed the song that I had originally so that it had a different kind of ending, and I took that idea, that one of just blah 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 blah, played just exactly like that, and I put that into its own song. And guess what? In my opinion, that song turned out better than the first one that I had. And now I've got two songs that I really like that I made, instead of just one, which I would have liked less because it would have had too much going on in it, and the pacing wouldn't have been right. And that's why you don't want to overthink your music, because people will listen to it and they'll think, what the hell is this? Okay? They just want to listen to a song. Most music is about three or 4 minutes long, something like that. And it is just one idea. When you listen to a song, you're listening to a song because you think, oh, I like that song because it goes boom, or you think it goes la 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 la. You know, you're not thinking of one that does both. You don't want to listen to a song that has both of those. You've got two different markets there. So think about who's going to listen to your music. Think about why they want to listen to this particular song, and give them that one good bit in every single song that they can latch onto. If you want to make your prog rock epics and all that, go for it. But please, just promise me that you will make 100 songs first, okay? Just 100 songs, and then you can get on with your mad prog rock epics, okay? And yeah, please like and subscribe, all that bullshit. Click the things that are down there. Realize that I'm now doing advertising and promotion and stuff that